Okay, so Jane, what isn't forgiveness?
Yeah, it's a strange thing to think about, isn't it? But I think there's a bit of misunderstanding with forgiveness. And so, just to make sure there is no misunderstanding, we're going to just give you 3 points about what forgiveness isn't. So, the first thing is that forgiveness is not condoning the offence. In other words, it's not saying that what that person did for me doesn't matter. What they did to you was wrong, it was hurtful, it was sin, and no matter what, you don't have to actually say what they did was okay. No, it's not okay. When we forgive, we're just choosing to say, I am going to deal with the hurt that that has given me, and that's all. You're not letting them off of the offence. In fact, you're actually literally just handing them over to God the Father for Him to deal with them, and He will deal with them according to His own wisdom. So in Isaiah 5:20, it says, "Woe to those who call evil good and good evil." So God actually is saying we shouldn't be calling something good that was evil. So we can say quite happily, by actually choosing to forgive them for the offence and saying, I choose to forgive them for, we are actually saying that this thing they did to us was evil, it was wrong. So the next thing is we don't have to pretend the offence never happened. It did happen. And we don't have to just cover that over and just say, oh, it never really happened. And I think you'll find with some Christians particularly, sometimes their parents haven't meant to, but they have hurt them just because of situations that parents probably never intended to do. And you'll find that some Christians don't want to ever say that their parents have done anything wrong, and they're not willing to actually name the thing that their parents has done wrong. So you really need to coach them that, yes, they need to speak it out. They're not saying that their parents are bad people. When you forgive, you're not saying that person is bad.
No.
All you're saying is that there's something that they did or a situation that happened because of them has caused you pain. That's actually what forgiveness is about. It's about the fact that a situation has caused you pain. And I've got a testimony in that area, and that is this, that when I first got born again, I continually sinned in an area that I just couldn't seem to stop. And I just asked the Lord, I said, Lord, why did I do that? And He gave me a vision. And in that vision, He showed me as a young baby, and I was crying, and my mother did not come to comfort me. Now, the reason that happened was because I was a baby who had colic. The normal thing that the medical profession would tell you at the time is to control cry that baby, which means you put them into the bedroom, you walk away, you let them cry for a certain length of time before you come and comfort them, and then the baby will be trained to stop crying so much. But the problem is with that is that the baby is in genuine pain. And so my mother did that. She followed the advice, and so really my mother didn't do anything evil against me. She only did what was the normal practice. But a baby doesn't understand that. All this baby, me, knew was that I was abandoned, that no one was coming to comfort me, that I was in pain, and that I was all on my own. And our baby is not capable of processing information in a way that they can, because they don't have a big world viewpoint. Their world is very limited to just themselves and their needs. And so me as a baby processed that is, if I cry, if I make a big fuss, that my mother will abandon me and she'll never come back. And that put a spirit of abandonment on my life. And that would cause me to act in certain ways, not ways of God. Now, the devil has schemes for our life, and he intends to put that scheme in at a very young age. And he used that sickness that I had to basically put that scheme that if I made a fuss, if I expected my needs to be met, then I would be abandoned. And so that made me into a very compliant child, and I would just obey my mother and do whatever she wanted just because I was afraid that she would abandon me again. Now, did that my mother intend to do that to me? The answer is no. So God said to me in that situation, He showed me that vision, And he said, just forgive your mum. And I forgave her. It wasn't even a difficult thing. I'd even had a child myself that had colic. I totally understood her situation. So I forgave my mum. And when I forgave my mum, in that vision, Jesus actually came and picked me up and as a baby, and he cradled me to himself, and I received healing in that way. And so by saying that my mother committed that offence, I'm not accusing her of being an evil person. I don't have to pretend she never did it because I don't want to say she did something wrong. All you need to do is say, this situation happened, it affected me, and I am going to choose to forgive. So this is very important. You'll find a lot of people may not be able to want to go to that place, but they need to.
Need to, yeah.
Yeah, to get freedom, they need to. So forgiveness is not allowing other people to take advantage of you. So let's say I lend Ian $10,000 and he agrees to pay that back in a certain way with interest. But then he just decides, no, I'm not paying that back. She can do without that money. And he never pays it back. Now, that could make me very angry and I need to forgive him. But the point of that is that let's say he comes to me after he hasn't paid back that $10,000 debt, and then he says, oh, I want to borrow $40,000 now. Can you give it to me? I can say no, because he hasn't yet honoured his first promise. There's nothing that compels me then to take that risk again. He has to show that he is able to pay something back before I need to keep on doing that thing. So it doesn't mean that I can just let him take advantage of me. I just need to deal with the feelings and not hold that grudge against him continually and go around telling everyone that he never pays anything back, don't trust him. That's not what I should be doing, but I don't have to lend him money again. Now, this gets quite important in a situation such as if
physical abuse in a
marriage. Forgiving that person for the physical abuse doesn't mean that you then have to put yourself in that situation yet again to be physically abused.
So now let's go to the next session where we are going to have a look at who do we need to forgive.